it's Kim from Dorothy's Daughter. Welcome to my channel today. I hope you're all faring well. We're in the middle of probably the strangest, weirdest thing that's ever happened in my lifetime. Most of the world is on lockdown, which is just like crazy to think about. Where I am, we can only gather in groups of 10 or less. They're encouraging people over 60 not to go out at all. Yeah, it's crazy. I've been pretty much here in the church office, nowhere else. I did go out for some groceries on Friday, but I haven't been out since then. I'm very confident that we're going to get through this. I just believe that we have to do what they're asking us to do. It's not an act of fear to stay home right now. It's an act of love, because you're keeping one more person from being infected, perhaps. Maybe that would be you. But the more people that are out there, the more it's going to spread. The more hospital beds will be needed. The more ventilators will be needed. And folks, we could run out. So please stay home. I'm going to be here sewing right with you. I'm going to make probably more videos than usual. And let's just get through this together. We have a sisterhood in sewing, and well, a few brothers in there too. If you're a brother that sews, we love you too. But we are basically all for one and one for all. So let's just lean on each other. Feel free to reach out to me or reach out to each other. And if you tend to be a person who doesn't do well by yourself or in isolation, please reach out to someone. And thank goodness we are in a world where we have online and instant communication. I'm wondering what it was like in the Spanish flu when they had to be isolated, and yet they didn't have the things we have. We are blessed to have the internet, to have YouTube, to have instant television, to know what's going on. That's good and bad sometimes, but right now I think it's good. And yeah, we're very blessed. So don't overdose on the news. Make yourself feel beautiful and keep sewing. So I've had an influx of subscribers, and I would love, love, love to just say thank you. And if you're watching for the first time, or maybe second or third time, and you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and click that button and click that bell, and you'll be notified when I post a new video, and you'll be part of this wonderful sisterhood that we have here on Dorothy's Daughter, a smaller sisterhood as part of the larger sewing sisterhood. And we're here to help each other. I'm going to make more videos than normal, and I hope that you'll just keep sewing with me. So Love Notions released a new pattern today. It's called the Vivace. Now, that's a musical term. It isn't just a designer label that used to be around. It's actually a musical term that means to done briskly, lively, and quick. I would say that this pattern lives up to its name. It was fairly quick to make, as long as you follow the directions very carefully. I had a few snags, but they were not pattern related, and I'll tell you about them in a moment. It comes in both a woven and a knit version. And it's fabulous. As far as the fabrics that you use for it, the one thing that the fabrics do have in common is that they should be drapey. A drapey knit or a drapey woven. I would not look, I don't think, as good in a more stable fabric. All right, I've seen some in stable fabrics, like some cotton lawns and some quilting cotton, and it's okay, but I do like it a little better in the drapier fabrics. So they released it today. I wanted to be part of this testing group for this pattern. I really, really did, but I thought I was going to be gone on my trip. So I did not sign up to do it, but Tammy graciously sent me the pattern. Since I'm an ambassador, she sent me the pattern yesterday, so I was able to start it last night and finish it this afternoon. All right, so I chose to do the dress. It does come in 3 different lengths, and first I'm just going to show you my drawing sketch up here of what I chose to do. I've had this fabric in my stash for years. Probably bought it the very first time that I went to the warehouse in San Antonio. So it's been in my stash for a long, long time. And I love it, but I just never could find the right thing. And I just think this dress just called to me that it was the right thing to use for this. I saw a few others that did border prints and I really liked them. So I decided I would use this border print. It's an ITY. It is slinky, slinky, slinky. And I'll get on with that just a little more in a bit. But that is what I chose to do. All right, I can see wearing this dress just as a knock-around dress in the summer, or it can be dressed up with jewelry and etc. and worn to church. It's very versatile, and I'm very happy that I made it. So I do think I would like the woven version as well. I would have a whole different like flavor, I think. The knit would be good for knocking around, and I mean like a t-shirt kind of fabric, even like a drapey t-shirt, like something like this. You could do it as a top, and then it would be great to throw in over jeans or, you know, leggings or something. So I do think that I would like it though in a woven as well. That would probably dress it up just a little bit more. But either way, it's very comfortable and I can see doing either one. As far as the fabric that I chose. All right, so I told you I bought this at a warehouse and it was in my stash for a long time. And it wasn't because I thought it would be difficult to work with. It was because I didn't find the right pattern. I don't know why I thought it wouldn't be difficult to work with. It is, oh my goodness, it is. Here's a scrap. It is the slinkiest, slidiest, stretchiest ITY that I have ever seen in my life. And also real lightweight. So my sewing machine wanted to eat it. My serger did better with it than my sewing machine. Yeah, and it's super lightweight. So I did interface in the pattern. She suggests that you interface the neckline, the main neckline, and I actually interfaced both so that it would be sturdy enough to attach and not slide around quite as much. And also I stay stitched. The front I did exactly right. I also put little squares of interfacing in the corners for the pivot, which helps quite a bit. But you can see in the back here that I did not stay stitch the back. I forgot, and it is a little bit ripply right here where it wouldn't have been if I had stay stitched. I don't know why I didn't. I know better than that. I just forgot. So yeah, you don't skip a step. Don't skip a step, but I did. Anyway, I was able to make it look pretty good. An iron and a knit and a steam iron can fix a lot of things. So I was able to fix that. So those are the only like snags that I had when it comes to the fabric. It was just the most probably difficult fabric I can even imagine. I would use it again, but I'd probably use some spray starch. I mean, it curls. I mean, it's awful. It's just awful. I used a lot of pins, and I don't usually use that many pins, but I used a lot of pins on this. And I think maybe even spraying the edges with spray starch might have helped a little bit. Definitely the serger was way better on that than my sewing machine. A walking foot might have helped. I don't like walking feet, as you've heard me say before, not because they don't do the job, but I just feel like I can't see what I'm doing. I don't know what it is. So I like the roller foot. Had I thought about it, I probably should have gotten that out. All right, so as far as the fit goes, I have said this before, I have a very narrow neck and shoulders. So I did a size large up here. I've lost a little weight recently, so I remeasured myself. And as I do every pattern or two, I remeasure myself. So I remeasured myself, and I've lost, maybe about 8 pounds in the last month or so. So I I wanted to know here, because I can tell I've lost it here. So my upper bust definitely fell into the size large. My bust fell into the extra large. And then the rest of me, parts of me, hips and bottom, fell into the extra large. So, and that's usually I would have made the extra large into the extra large and been good. But I had this issue of this being only a large. So what I did was I followed the lines of, the shoulders and the neckline, and everything up here at the top in a large. And then these seams I followed in the extra large and then blended to the 2X. So yeah, it's 3 different sizes blended. It's easy to do in a dolman pattern, but we have to remember that if you do that, you have to use the large pieces here. Otherwise your pieces aren't going to fit together, and it worked out really well. If you need to do that on another pattern that is not a dolman, that has sleeves and an arm side, I do have a tutorial on that for it's a different kind of narrow shoulder adjustment. It's basically a small neck and shoulder adjustment is what it really is. But if you follow, I'll put a link up here to that tutorial if it's a different kind of pattern. But it's the same principle with the dolman pattern. It's just not as many steps needed because it's a simpler cut. The pleat was fine. I accidentally sewed it permanently, thinking that it was going to stay there, and then looked later and saw that it needed to be ripped out. So I did that very carefully. And yeah, everything worked out, but it took me a little longer than it probably should have, just because of that fabric and because I skipped a couple steps. And I don't know why I did. I think I just wanted to get it done. I was distracted by the news, which I'm sure you all understand right now. As far as the pattern goes, the pattern, like the pieces, always the drafting from Love Notions is superb. And this was no exception. She has a full bust piece for those who need it. And you're probably going to ask me why I didn't just do large with a full bust. The full bust piece was way more than I needed. So I needed a compromise between the regular and full. So that's why I chose to just do the size blending. She also has extended sizes up to 5X. So that is really good. Yeah, just can't beat them. It is on sale through Monday, I think. Yeah, for the week. Check and see if it expires Sunday night or if it goes through Monday yet. I'll put that down below. But it's on sale and you'll be able to get it at a savings. And also, if you would be so kind as to click that affiliate link in my description, I will get a little credit for it too. Vivace lives up to its name. It's going to be a quick thing to throw on and, run to the store, or I could dress it up and wear it for church. So I'm going to show you some pictures of it finished here, and I love it. I think it just turned out great. I'm very happy with it. And when we can get out again, I'm sure I'm going to be wearing that out a lot of places. Until then, when it's warmer, I'll wear it here. So anyway, I know that I know it's hard right now, but just hang in there because it's going to get better. It's going to get better. And like Kristen from the Dahlia Society said, just keep sewing. That's what we have to do. Keep sewing, keep focusing on the future, and definitely follow the experts' advice, because they have our best interest in mind. I'm not a conspiracy person. I don't really believe that somebody's trying to, lower the population of the earth or something like that. I just think that it's an unfortunate thing that happened, and we can minimize the lives that are lost by following their instruction. Okay, coming up, I'm going to be doing later on this week the indie focus on Megan Nielsen, and that will be fun. I've done, I think, 3 of their patterns now. I think 3, and I'm going to do an indie focus. Really great pattern company. Like I said, if they're not great, You know, my mom always used to say, if you can't say something good, don't say anything. So, you know, if there's a company that's super, super bad, I'm just not gonna, you know, I'm gonna keep it positive. I may have a few alerts for those of you that have problems with this, or if you know, are extended sizes or something like that. But as far as, you know, whether it's a good company or a bad company, I'm not gonna review any that I think are just terrible. So, okay. So if you're a designer and I've asked you to send me an answer to questions, please know that it's not about cutting anybody down. All right, so, and guess what? I'm gonna have a fabric haul coming up. I decided if I had to be home, I needed some fabric. So I ordered 2 mystery bundles from Fabric Mart, plus some double brush poly from there. I ordered a whole bunch of knits from Girl Charlie, and I ordered some athletic fabric from Pico Textiles. So I'm gonna share that fabric haul after it gets here. And yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. So I'm just going to keep sewing, sew my way through this. All right. Stay safe, stay well, and let's keep in touch. Feel free to message me on Instagram, shoot me a message on Facebook. I have an email address below. Please reach out, even if you're just lonely. I'm home, so and I'll be home. So provided we all stay well, I'll be able to reach back and chat with you a little bit. A lot of you have had some really super wonderful comments on my last video. A lot of you really commented on the bee story about my mom. I will be posting a picture of the bee pin in the community tab as soon as my daughter-in-law has it right now, and she was going to take a picture and send it to me. Feel free to take that story and let it encourage you as well. My daughter-in-law is actually, before any of this happened, and I thought I'd have to share that, she decided that she never met my mom, but she's always honored her so much. She named my granddaughter Dorothy. We have little Dottie. She's our youngest granddaughter. And she's always been so respectful. My son was very close to my mom, and she knows that. And so she does whatever she can do to honor my mom. And she's a stay-at-home mom, and she's, you know, wanting to kind of start a business of some kind out of her home. And she's been making jewelry. And before any of this happened, she'd asked me if I would mind, of course I don't, if she made bracelets with bees on them. And she's going to be opening her business soon. I'll keep you posted on the progress of that, and make it available. You know, I'll get the word out and let you know where you can get them. And maybe we'll have a giveaway of one when she does that. I'll be able to do a giveaway and send somebody one. And in the meantime, you know, let that story encourage you, and we'll get through this. Just keep sewing and keep flying. Anyway, with that, happy sewing.